Hello everyone and welcome to the next series in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 2 group stage. We are still on Playday 6 and we're going to take a look at the second best of 3 in Group C, which is the last one remaining. And it's a pretty important series as it could potentially seal the fate of 3 players in Group C. And one of them is Rob, the Russian undead player spawning here on the left hand side in orange, starting with Altar, Burrow and Barracks. And he so far has only been able to win one best of 3, which was against Fire. So he needs to win at least one map here to maintain theoretical chances of advancing into the top 3. But even better for him, of course, would be to win the entire series. And we're gonna see him again. He has one more match to play after this one, which will be on Playday number 7 against Grubby. So that shouldn't be all too easy, and therefore a victory here would certainly help him improving his chances of eventually advancing. And his opponent in blue here on the right hand side is the Swedish undead player DowaQ, who has also only won one best of 3 so far, which was against Lily C. And DowaQ, for him the situation is quite simple. He needs to win this best of 3 or else he will be out. And we are not going to see him play again afterwards, as this is already his 5th game in this group stage. And the third player for whom this best of 3 is quite important is Lily C, the Swedish Night Elf player, who is already in quite a grim situation. And the only way that after this best of 3 Lily C is not going to be out is if Rob ends up winning with a 2-1 map score. Any other result and Lily C will be out after this best of 3. So Goose for DowaQ, the DK is about to spawn. He's getting Rot and Dust. Second Ziggurat is coming, so this is definitely Ghouls and no early Fiend transition or anything like that. Ghouls are gathering here in front of the creep camp, and it looks like DowaQ is going to go ahead, starting even with the coil, so he's getting that mana regeneration going. Claws of attack for the DK. The Acolyte of DowaQ already was here, I believe. Yes, it already was here, and it saw that there is nothing spectacular happening at the Orcs main base, not skipping anything before the tech. Also beginning with some creeping, circlet for the Blade Master, so he's going to be quite satisfied with that item drop. The DK is now heading across the map. Looks like he's not going to be willing to let Rob get away with all too much creeping early on. The Blade Master buying one stack of heal salves. It looks like he doesn't want to delay his tech here by buying another 3 heal salves. Blade Master gets coiled and revealed, has to retreat, has to use another, no? Okay, now he uses another heal salve. In the meantime, the ghouls continue creeping here, so the DK is already reaching level 2 quite quickly, so it's going to greatly improve his mobility. And I think, yeah, the Scout Acolyte here of DowaQ even saw the Blade Master coming in. Blade Master waiting in front of the marketplace, buying Gloves of Haste here. So some additional damage output, but with the Acolyte patrolling here and with the DK nearby, it looks like he's not going to be willing to risk taking that Ogre match, and I guess rightfully so. But nevertheless, it looks like DowaQ has the right senses here, and he's following the Blade Master as well as the 2 grunts down to the Merchant, and he's going to continue harassing, and it's going to be very difficult for Rob to finish any of those creeps off with the DK, with his Death Coil being right there. Blade Master is trying to do some damage. This Berserker took one hit too much, and therefore he went down to 88 HP, which was enough for the DK to finish him, but at least Rob did get the level 2 right now as well, finishing off the second Force Throw Berserker while the coil was still on cooldown. So ghouls are being pulled right now towards the shop here. The tech is almost halfway done for DowaQ, a little bit further along for Rob, who is again waiting here in front of the Ogre Magi. It looks like with these grunts he realizes where the DK is, and therefore he's beginning to creep here, so it looks like he's gonna be able to get away with this Ogre Magi. But the Death Knight actually with the Staff of Teleportation coming in, but is he going to be able to throw the coil in time? No, it looks like he wasn't because of his very limited vision during the nighttime. The Death Knight has one more coil left, so this Blade Master can very easily trade a few blows without really risking all too much here. The ghouls in the meantime are able to finish the Ogre Molotov, so yeah, quite an alright early game for DowaQ here, I'd say. Thus far, he is slightly over level 2.5. He's found the Sentry Wards here, the Blade Master with the greater mana portion from the Ogre Magi is healing himself up, as well as a bunch of grunts, and DowaQ continues staying very active with these ghouls, and if he's getting away with this, this could actually turn out to be quite great for him, as it's going to provide level 3 as well as make things difficult for Rob to eventually creep up a second hero. And speaking of a second hero, tier 2 tech has just finished for Rob, and he's adding the Shadowhunter second. So the expected choice here by the Russian. Yeah, he's not anticipating DowaQ taking so much risk, and he's taking even more risk placing the Sentry Ward here, so he'd see a Blade Master coming in, and he's taking away another extremely important camp on the left hand side of the map. That is my motivation for this DK, as well as the Ring of Protection +2, which he found earlier at the National. And now with the school retreating here, I think Rob should have a pretty strong idea of what's actually happening here, but it looks like it's too late. The Death Knight is level 3.5, the Blade Master finds one ghoul here on the retreat, and yeah, he's getting the kill with the critical strike, but still he's down about an entire level on his Blade Master compared to this DK. Lich is coming, Web is coming already, so it looks like he's anticipating some Wind Riders here in order to deal with these ghouls, and well, at least it's double beastry, so Wind Riders definitely a possibility here on the side of Rob. And Shadowhunter is out, the grunts are chasing after these ghouls. Let's see if any of them are going to fall victim to the Blade Master of Rob. And yeah, the first one is probably going to bite it here, but no, the DK has staffed back to his own base and is healing up the ghoul in time, so it looks like DowaQ is probably going to get away with all of his ghouls. The Shadowhunter not in position here to throw any hexes around, so yeah, DowaQ getting away with a lot of aggressive creeping here early on. This camp is gone, this camp is gone. That's also where the two Sentry Wards of DowaQ are placed. And now Rob has to make something happen. He decides to return the favor and start taking away the creep camps of his opponent with the Shadowhunter second out. For the time being, it's a little bit difficult for DowaQ to engage. He's adding one Slaughterhouse here. His tier 3 tech is soon to be finished already, so it looks like that was a straight tier 3 tech. The base is open here still, by the way. But it looks like Rob so far hasn't paid any attention to that. So with only his two heroes, DowaQ is going to have quite a difficult time engaging currently, as I said. And well, he does have a decent load of lumber actually. Well, he's going to get Frenzy and the Destroyer upgrade in production. That's going to cost him quite a bit. But still, I feel like he could have pulled the ghouls there to try and contest the Orc player in his creeping. But then again, I think he wasn't really sure of what exactly Rob was doing until he just scouted it with the skeleton. Well, Nova first for the Lich here, so no frost armor just yet. DowaQ, excuse me, is making sure that he's getting away with at least the kill on the Nightcrawler. No XP tome for him, but some more XP. And Rob is already falling back, so he's not feeling confident enough, and I guess rightfully so, to continue contesting these camps with excuse me, with like only 2 heroes and 4 grunts against a decent load of ghouls on the side of his opponent, as well as the high level DK already. And we do see a Dreadlord third on the side of DowaQ, who's added a Sacrificial Pit already as well, who has 2 statues out, so things are looking quite smooth for the undead player. Shadowhunter did get the mana pot passed in the meantime. He is on level 2 as well, the Blade Master on level 3. And the Lich, yeah, still has some catching up to do. I guess the Orb will be bought right now on him. Yeah, there's the Orb for the Lich, of course. Was to be expected. Dreadlord is about to be out. Destroyer upgrade is halfway done. These ghouls appear to be Frenzy already. And a very quick expansion coming here by Rob, but scouted already by the Sentry Ward of DowaQ. And what's he going to decide to do? It looks like he's gonna let it come up and decide to go for some more creeping instead. DK is close to level 4. The Lich was certainly going to benefit a lot from a level 2 as well. The Dreadlord, as it appears, has skilled Sleep first here. Skill point is gone, no aura yet, and I don't really see Carrion Swarm coming into play here. Boots of Speed dropping for the Undead, who's not picking it up. Yeah, the pathing of the Dreadlord was a little bit bugged, and it looks like he did not pay attention, and he didn't realize that yeah, the item was still lying there on the ground. So Rob is doing some more creeping, and in the meantime he's getting his burrows just destroyed by 2 destroyers, and this one still has a decent load of mana, so it looks like one of the burrows is probably going to fall. Yes, that's exactly what's happening, and at the same time the ghouls and the heroes are still in time to cancel this expansion. Very nice timing there by the undead player, and it looks like without his destroyers he's probably going to be forced to TP out, as there are 3 Wind Riders here in the air. By the way, we've never seen him add a single Fiend, so I'm not sure if he perhaps cancelled the web upgrade. So yeah, we'll see if there are going to be any Fiends eventually on the field. But at the moment he is getting 1 gargoyle, perhaps gonna get a second one. These gargoyles can work out quite decently against Wind Riders, but the undead needs to walk a very fine line with the strategy, not overcommitting onto gargoyles, because otherwise there might just be a few bad riders trading extremely well for the orc player, which often is not a possibility if there are only like 2-3-ish gargoyles on the side of the undead. And I'm just wondering if there's a shade already on the map, but I don't see one. 52 supply, a little bit awkward there for DowaQ, who's got 2 destroyers still, who's adding another statue. 1 gargoyle on the field. He does have a new TP. The Lich is getting ensnared here, and he's gotta turn around with the entire army here. Immediately sleep on the Blade Master, though he does have an invul potion, and he's going straight for these Wind Riders. The first one is in a bit of trouble already. Heatwave is coming in by the level 3 Shadow Hunter, who, yeah, in the meantime has leveled up some more. Level 2 on the Dreadlord as well, though. And the first of the Wind Riders is already out of the fight. The second one is being healed right now. Another one is joining next. Heatwave coming in, but it looks like Rob is not at all able to take a serious fight at the moment, despite having a bunch of Wind Riders. The triple hero combo of the undead player, as well as the huge load of ghouls on the ground, is making it really difficult for Rob to, yeah, just simply take a fight. So what's the plan here for the Russian? He's adding another Wind Rider. DowaQ in the meantime with a heal scroll here. Is he adding invul perhaps? Yeah, waiting for 150 gold, yeah. So there's the invul. He's staffing forward the 2 meters to his ghoul here. Sees that there's nothing happening here, and the only camp remaining on the map, by the way, is this one. DowaQ not really close at all to any level up, but perhaps he could solo creep it with the Lich to get... I think he'd even get level 3 from it, if he solo crept it. But yeah, Rob for the moment seems to be unwilling to leave his base, and as he's not able to fight, or as it appeared like he wasn't able to fight just a minute ago, this might be the wisest choice. As I just said, there's not really anything to gain at the moment by walking out on the map. All he does is leave 1 camp to his opponent. Blade Master with 3 gloves of haste in the meantime, and a claw +9, so it looks like he's done some shopping, and this Blade Master is seriously gonna have to carry. But there is the Dreadlord available for the sleep, and DowaQ is gonna do everything in his power to prevent this Blade Master from completely freaking out and chopping down his units one by one. Oh yeah, there are still some creeps left standing here as well, since Rob only crept the Magi. So DowaQ with some better awareness here compared to me. Rob, by the way, saving up a lot of gold here on no upkeep, on 50 supply. Would be able to go up to 70 upgrade wise. He's got nothing. He doesn't even have a War Mill. Blade Master with a clarity is gonna move out on the map again. And DowaQ has already broken quite a while ago, so yeah, perhaps there is a little bit more pressure on him than it first appeared like. Ghouls are coming in right now as well. And yeah, the last creeps on the map are going to be taken down in just a second by the undead player. And where's the Blade Master? Still at his own main base, so Rob currently has no intentions of doing anything except breaking into low upkeep and perhaps hope for a fight with, you know, at least a tiny bit of a supply advantage, perhaps, thanks to saving up for such a long time. But yeah, the second and third hero of DowaQ, very close to the also important level 3. DK, by the way, with level 2 Unholy Aura, so no Death Pact, so maybe just blatant hero focus could be an option, as there's no Invo Potion on this DK. There is a TP, but yeah, nothing to keep him alive while staying in the fight. So another 2 Wind Riders spawning right now for Rob. He's at 66 supply, whereas DowaQ is only at 63. So yes, we can see, well, he still has these 3 statues which he can off and gain another 6 supply if he wants to. We can see the effect of Rob waiting at 50 supply while DowaQ was in upkeep for quite a while already. But I mean, he's at least gained somewhat significant level advantage with it. Blade Master using the backstep here, as I imagine the Windwalk was about to run out. The Wind Riders are coming in for Rob, but yeah, that's quite a risk here. And I'm curious to see, does DowaQ now with the Shade clearly seeing all of the Wind Riders, so he knows exactly what he's going to be facing here. He's adding more gargoyles. Other than that, not adding anything currently. And now all of a sudden, being threatened by such a large army of Wind Riders, it is DowaQ who's sitting back in his own base. Getting a mana potion on the Lich. He's got 1 Invo Potion, which is also on the Lich. DK with Wands of Illusion, which he must have bought, since here previously there were the Sentry Wards dropping. So perhaps we're gonna see more gargoyles in the upcoming fight. Which, you know, to be fair, seeing like 6 gargoyles flying into these Wind Riders could perhaps be somewhat more frightening than like 3 gargoyles. But he also has 4 statues ready, so that could turn out to be quite an interesting fight eventually. First Bad Riders coming for Rob as well. Yeah, it could turn out to be quite an interesting fight, as the Wind Riders are going to deal bonus damage to the light armor of the destroyers, while the destroyers' magic damage is going to deal extra damage to the light armor of Wind Riders. Especially Wind Riders focus fire against you know, destroyers and frostworms and those sorts of units is quite insane. At the same time, the destroyers are going to have plenty of mana and plenty of splash damage to work with. So yeah, perhaps we're in for an interesting fight. No defense upgrades, surprisingly, by DowaQ. 69 supply against 80. So yeah, Rob is up by 11 supply. He's got the worst heroes. He's got difficult. Perhaps the, yeah, I guess items are somewhat even, but the Blade Master doesn't carry an Invo Potion. He just used the heal scroll in time here, and this is not great news, as the nuke is going to be available here. Heal Wave is coming in just in time though, and the Blade Master is retreating. Shadowhunter is asleep right now though. 1 Bad Rider is coming in, getting rid of 1 of the gargoyles. And the rest of the Orc army is still sitting there in the back, so Rob really risking it here, and he had to use his heal scroll already, which is quite bad, because as I said, there's going to be a lot of splash damage coming out against these Wind Riders, and the heal scroll could have certainly helped him there. DK is coming in, looks like he wants to just call the Blade Master to stop the clarity and the heal salve. And both of the players, now it is DowaQ again, having a difficult time engaging here. But Rob with 5 Bad Riders, yeah, could end up dealing quite some significant damage here. Still no defense upgrades on the side of DowaQ. He's getting the first one right now. Rob moving out of his base again. Yeah, the waiting game, that describes it quite accurately. well, looking at the main mines, there's not even 2,000 gold left in there. And as both players do have quite the big armies on the field right now, it's really going to come down to who is going to be able to better take the fight. And you certainly don't want to commit into a terrible position. So it looks like Rob is going to... DowaQ is going to be the one forcing Rob's hand, quickly sniping one of the burrows. It looks like he was waiting for his first defense upgrade to finish before engaging, and now he seems to be willing to do it. The second burrow is falling, a bunch of bad riders coming in. One destroyer only has fallen so far, the second one is falling. And other than that, is he gonna get a third one? Yes, he's getting a third destroyer out of the air. 59 supply still for DowaQ against 72 still for Rob, who's only lost a few bad riders thus far, and now the wind riders are coming out. Hex is going on to the Lich. Dispelled quite quickly though, invo potion used, speed score used by the Orc, double level up for him, an immediate surround on the Shadow Hunter. He's using the invo potion though, the air units are all hurt though, and now the lack of the heal score is really backfiring at the Orc player. At the same time, the Lich is in some trouble though. Where's the DK? Somewhere underneath all of these wind riders, but he wasn't able to coil the Lich in time. At the same time though, the Carrion Swarm is actually being used as a second skill here, as it appears, if I saw that correctly, and everything is taking so much damage. The Blade Master as well as the Dreadlord are falling, and it looks like on the ground it is clearly going to be DowaQ who's coming out on top, while in the air the Wind Riders reign supreme, both of the players with one hero left standing. But since there are only ghouls and the DK left standing for DowaQ, he's gonna have to fall back. The beginning of the fight was looking very promising for the Orc player, but DowaQ fighting back there, level 5 on the Shadow Hunter. The Blade Master is being revived, so is the Lich. And I'm really curious, this Dreadlord is level 3. Did he really skill Carrion Swarm, or did I see that incorrectly? Yeah, Shadow Hunter level 5, as I just said. Healing up some stuff. Clarity is running on him. Plenty of mana here thanks to the circlets. And thanks to those clarities, now all of these hurt Wind Riders are back to pretty close to full health. And DowaQ, well, he's got a bunch of ghouls left standing as well as this DK. His level advantage is pretty much gone, as with the bad riders. In terms of XP, the Orc is always going to be able to trade very favorably, of course. Expansion is coming again right now for Rob. All of this is being seen by the Shade, but it doesn't look like there's all too much that DowaQ is going to be able to do about this.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
Another gargoyle is coming out, another cancelling the gargoyle right now. For what? A heal scroll, apparently, which he bought onto the DK. And this mine is also about to be gone. So it's gonna be 50 supply for DowaQ. He still has a few statues, I think. He's got 3 statues, and he's got the gold to morph 2 of them if he wants to. And he's selling more stuff, so he's gonna have to go to morph all 3 of them. Whereas for Rob, it's still 61 supply. Blade Master is using another clarity here. A bunch of Wind Riders still. One more Raider is joining the army here. And I guess we're gonna see some pretty strong hero focus with those Wind Riders and this decently equipped Blade Master. Shadow Hunter in the middle, buying an invo potion here. Not having the gold to buy a heal scroll currently. And DowaQ, is he really not waiting for the Dreadlord? He's left the Staff of Teleportation, so Dreadlord is going to be able to join the army immediately after spawning. The Blade Master once again is getting quite aggressive here, risking quite a bit. The Dreadlord now is back, so had he been back before, could have been quite painful. It is Vampiric Aura level 1. So we will further investigate the skill build of this Dreadlord. So yeah, 4 destroyers right now in total for DowaQ, who's gonna go for one last big push here. And yeah, 3 of those destroyers will have mana. It's 59 supply against 61, somewhat even. One of Illusion right now used on the Gargoyle here. First Nova is coming in. The Wind Riders taking quite a significant amount of damage. The Death Knight with level 5 has to fall back here. Frost armor used onto him. The Wind Riders have to leave, too afraid of the air units of the undead player. Hex on the DK, the focus fire is coming on the Lich. The Hex is dispelled in time though, and it might be the Blade Master who's in trouble, or the Lich. Still, there's something lying on the ground here, a mana potion, which is being picked up by the DK. The coil is coming in onto the Lich, and it looks like DowaQ is coming out on top quite clearly even in this fight. Rob is flying in again though with the Wind Riders, going for the focus fire on one of the destroyers. At the same time, the Blade Master is in trouble. Perhaps we should better keep an eye on the heroes here, as the Blade Master is falling. The Shadow Hunter has to retreat, and well, without the Blade Master holding this expansion is going to be quite the difficult task. There are 4 Wind Riders still in the air. The Lich doesn't have mana for Nova currently, and he wasn't in range. So these Wind Riders will get out alive for the moment. But look at what one Gargoyle can already do to those Wind Riders. Next one is being coiled out. The Lich chilling a little bit here. Blade Master is being rebought, being healed. It's gonna go to the shop, probably for an invul potion. He could have waited there quickly for 150 gold, which is what he's doing right now. And DowaQ still has 46 supply. So looking quite comfortable right now. DK is gonna have to use his mana potion here soon. But there's really not anything left standing on the side of the Orc player. Dreadlord is moving forward. It is sleep level 1, so yeah, we did see Carrion Swarm there previously. And the Blade Master once again has to retreat. There's no speed scroll whatsoever for Rob though. He's gonna have to be really, really careful against these ghouls once around, and the damage output is going to be so high. He's probably not going to be able to fight out of it. Another sleep onto the Blade Master, who is out of mana, who needs to pay attention here, and who is getting not surrounded. The Shadow Hunter is the one getting surrounded. Coil onto the Lich. The focus fire on the Lich. Is it going to be enough? Shadow Hunter is healing himself. The Lich can actually not be healed as the DK is out of mana. Can he pass something? No, but Rob is already calling GG as the Shadow Hunter was about to fall. Rob, with nothing left standing there in the end. A game which in the mid game was very, very slowly paced. DowaQ getting away with a lot of good creeping early on. Trying to, as it appeared like he was trying to go for some early engagement with early destroyers and triple hero. And Rob was not too thrilled about that, just sitting back in his own base, behind his own burrows. And actually ended up with quite the supply advantage there. So that's clearly one of the cases where it can be seen how much of an impact the upkeep system can have on those games. And they ended up fighting in front of Rob's base eventually, with Rob still coming out slightly on top. Both of the players at the end with one hero remaining, but Rob with a pretty large air army, and he was willing to take the risk to go for the expansion, which in the end did not pay off for him. He wasn't able to hold it. Shadowhunter was going down. The Lich, I'm not sure, perhaps could have gone down as well, but yeah, DowaQ with Rob with nothing left standing against the 2 heroes left standing, DK and Dreadlord, as well as a huge ghoul army and a few destroyers, would definitely not have been able to hold that expansion. So he's calling GG on map number 1, and map number 2 will be Secret Valley.